The term Wildcat carries a certain weight with it. Good or bad, it's hard to find someone that doesn't have some opinion on the matter. For those uninitiated, the Wildcat can be boiled down to any formation or play where the running back, or really any non-quarterback, skill player, is taking the snap. By all intents and purposes, the offense was invented by Bill Snyder and Del Miller in the late 90s at Kansas State, hence the name Wildcat. And since then, it's seen its usage throughout all levels of the game. While this seems modern, the reality is that it's based upon some really old football principles. Pop Warner, the guy whose namesake has been given to countless youth football leagues across the nation, used a very similar style of play in the 1920s under the name single wing. It may be the best time in history to use the Wildcat. With defenses having to deploy more and more secondary players, there's less emphasis placed on defenders who are willing to enter the thick of things and put their bodies on the line at the line of scrimmage. This offense stands in stark contrast to the spread passing attack of modern offenses, and it's difficult for defenses to quickly adjust. However, a lot of people don't share a stellar opinion of the offense, so instead of jumping into the controversy of its merits, I want to instead focus on what its usage says about Florida State's new head coach, Mike Norvell. There's no better way to do that than to look at the 2018 American Athletic Championship between Norvell's Memphis Tigers and the University of Central Florida. Throughout this video, I'll be showing all of the times that Memphis ran the Wildcat in that game. In total, Norvell ran 24 plays out of the Wildcat, netting them 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. So let's take a closer look at one player in particular and see what Norvell was seeing in the first place. The first thing you should look at is the box in these plays. Due to the lack of a quarterback, Memphis was able to pack in an extra man. This gives them 7 blockers to UCF's 7 defenders. In general, if you have enough guys to block all of their guys, there isn't enough players to make a tackle. Throughout the game, UCF refused to adjust. Consistently, they lined up with 7 people in the box, giving unnecessary attention to the passing game. They were able to make some stops. Let's look at this play for instance. This D lineman is able to win the one-on-one matchup and make a play in the backfield. My guess is that UCF figured they would win more of these battles than they did. Even when they did win one-on-one matchups, that didn't necessarily mean great things for the defense. Here several defenders get penetration into the backfield, but in the outside zone, that just opens up bigger holes for the running back. But a majority of these plays were minor gains for Memphis. This can be due to blocks being missed, or not being held long enough, solid plays by the defense, or just the general congestion that comes with packing 15 huge individuals in a small area. If the offense is lucky, they can have a running back who's a minor threat to throwing the ball. And the one pass Memphis attempted out of the Wildcat, they got 4 yards and a touchdown out of it. More than anything, this use of the Wildcat shows Norvell's willingness to trust his instincts and continue calling the plays that he thinks gives him an advantage. Running the Wildcat this many times, especially in a big game like this, is inviting criticism. Despite its success in-game, there are always people who will question unconventional methods, especially when the final result isn't positive. Memphis lost this game 41-56. And if this were a bigger school, there would be national headlines asking if Norvell ran the Wildcat too much. In reality, we see that's not the case. In no ways was the offense the problem. Scoring 41 points should net you a victory. Norvell thought outside of the box and created a solid game plan, which is something he will continue to do in his time in Tallahassee. Win or lose, Norvell has shown he will do what it takes to try to be successful.